I had just found out that I was pregnant when, suddenly, my husband was killed in an accident while hunting. The funeral was held quickly, but I couldn't simply forget him and let him go, so I spent every day in tears. One day, a stranger approached me, offered his condolences, and proposed an unusual deal.
I know it's not the right place or the right time. But I figure if we marry, it'll help solve both our problems.
Nick was a widower who wanted his 9-year-old daughter to have a mother, so he offered me what seemed like a completely crazy arrangement. I was left without a husband and had to think about my unborn child, so eventually, I agreed. The very next day, we had a small wedding, but when Nick took my hand, I tensed up and felt uncomfortable because my thoughts were still with my late husband. After the ceremony, we went to Nick's house, but as soon as I stepped inside, I locked myself in my room and spent several days mourning the man I loved. When I finally came out, Maisie scolded me for sleeping for so long. At that moment, Nick asked her to go get something for tea, and once we were alone, I caught the smell of food and immediately devoured it because I hadn't eaten for several days. After lunch, I went outside and started swinging on the swings, but memories of my husband's death continued to haunt me. After crying for the rest of the day, I noticed that Nick and Maisie decided to check on me, but their attempts were useless. Gradually, my pain began to fade, and I learned how to keep my emotions under control. Wearing a beautiful dress, I came out for breakfast, but Maisie started making fun of me again because such an outfit was completely unsuitable for working on a farm. Then Nick unexpectedly told me that he had brought my broken wagon into the barn, but what surprised me even more was that he had managed to repair it, and he was also planning to build a shelf for my books. Since our marriage was only a formality, I asked him what exactly he expected from me as his wife. He then led me out of the barn and looked at Maisie. She worked tirelessly every single day, and his only wish was to give his daughter a normal childhood surrounded by a proper family. After hearing this, I decided to fulfill his wish, but I knew absolutely nothing about farm life because I had grown up in the city. I didn't know how to collect eggs or milk cows. Maisie couldn't understand why her father had married such a useless woman, and, wanting to drive me out of the house, she decided to throw manure at me. This made me furious, and after completely losing my temper, I said,
I've got news for you! I don't want to be here either. But the fact of the matter is, I made a bargain with your father, and I intend to keep my end of that bargain, even if you do everything short of trying to kill me in the process.
And this was the movie Love Comes Softly.